Hello, my dear students. Welcome you all to Sri Jayendra Rank Zone classes. I am your mentor and your friend for the subject biology, and I will be taking the zoology part, that is animal science. My dear students, today we are going to start with fisheries. Fisheries, it includes the commercial production and the raising of fishes. Fishes are a valuable and easily accessible source of food, and that too they provide good protein and good amount of protein. They are rich in protein, highly nutritious, and easily digestible. Fishes are a valuable and easily accessible source of food. They are rich in protein, they are highly nutritious and easily digestible. Fishes, they contain good amount of gamma oryzanol, they contain good amount of HDL, high density lipoproteins, and various other structural proteins. By the aquatic animals, they are abundantly available from sea, rivers, lakes, ponds, and marshes. Okay, so among all aquatic animals, they are easily available, they are abundantly available from sea, rivers, lakes, ponds, and marshes. Fishes, they are aquatic cold blooded animals. They are aquatic cold blooded animals belonging to craniata, which is a class of vertebrata. Okay, and the phylum is chordata. Okay, aquaculture is the production of useful aquatic plants and animals such as fishes, prawns, shrimps, lobsters, crabs, mollusks by the proper utilization of small and large bodies of water. So aquaculture is the production of useful aquatic plants and animals such as fishes, prawns, lobsters, shrimps, crabs, mollusks by the proper utilization of small and large bodies water. Pisciculture is the production and breeding of fishes by man in ponds. So pisciculture is different from aquaculture. Pisciculture is the production and breeding of fishes by man in ponds. India has abundant marine and inland fish resources. It has a coastline extending to four. It is having a coastline. The coastline extending to 4667 kilometers long and a continental shelf of 2 25,900 square kilometers, offering good scope for fish production. The fish production has increased many-fold since India got independence during 1990-91. The annual fish production of our country was 38.22 lakh tons. The per capita consumption of fish in India is estimated at 1.51 kg per year. India is at present the sixth foremost seafood producing nations in the world. On the historical background, from prehistoric time, fishes have been used as a rich source of protein for human beings. The popularity of fishes has been mentioned in our religious books like Ramayana and Mahabharata also. In West Bengal, Bihar, Orissa, the fish industry is about 1500 years old. In Bengal, every family traditionally has at least one pond for fishes. Okay? They have at least one pond for fishes traditionally. Fishery is a kind of industry which is concerned with the catching, processing, or selling of fish. Fishery is basically concerned with catching, processing, or selling of fish shellfish, shellfish that is mollusks. Okay, used for food. The example of shellfish or mollusks are mussels, oysters, and crustaceans. So fisheries, pisciculture, and aquaculture, these three terms, you should not confuse yourself in between these three terms. When you are switching from fisheries to pisciculture, it means we are actually meaning to culture fishes only. Okay? Fisheries involve the culture, catching, processing of selling of fish, shellfish, which includes mollusks and crustaceans as well. Okay. Now, the next, what are and why, why fisheries are economically important. So we are going to discuss basically fisheries and their economical importance. So what are the economical importance of fishes? They are used as food. Okay. So they are used as food. The fish flesh, or we can say the meat, is an excellent source of protein. It's a good source of protein and has a very little fat, which carries a good amount of minerals and vitamins A and D, rich in vitamin A, D, okay, vitamin D and iodine. So rich in vitamin D and iodine, okay, and it is very easy to digest, okay. There are some common important edible fishes, okay. Bombay duck, these are the common edible marine fishes, okay. So Bombay duck, eel, hilsa, pomfret, salmon, sardine, mackerel, they all are edible fishes, marine fishes, okay. Tuna. Some common edible freshwater fishes are as follows: rohu, kalbasu, Catala, Singara, Mrigala. Okay, so these are some of the fishes which are edible, and many more. We are having many more. Okay, examples. Okay, some common edible freshwater fishes. Okay, fishes, they are used for medicinal point of view. Diseases like malaria, yellow fever. Okay, against malaria, yellow fever. Biocontrol agent. Gambusia is a larvivorous fish which feeds on the larvae of mosquito, feeding on the of mosquito. Okay, then the byproducts obtained from fishes like fish oil. It is extracted from the liver of the sharks. Extracted from the liver of the sharks. Sawfishes, rays. Okay, fish oil is of great medicinal value. They mainly include, and they are marketed as cod liver oil capsules. Okay, fish manure. The waste of the fishes, excretory waste of the fishes, or after the extraction of oil, the fish waste is used as fertilizer. After the extraction of oil, the fish waste is used as a fertilizer. Okay, fish glue. It is a sticky product obtained from the skin of the cod. Skin of cod, and is used as gum. and is used as adhesive. Okay. Isinglass. It is a gelatinous substance. Gelatinous substance which is obtained from the air bladder of perches, catfish, and Indian salmons, and is used in making cements, and in clarification of wine and beer. So isinglass is used for the clarification of wine and beer. Next is the shagreen. Shagreen is the skin of sharks and rays. Having pointed and sharp placoid scales. Placoid scales. Okay, which are used in polishing the wood and other materials. Wood and other materials. So these are the byproducts: fish oil, fish manure, fish glue, isinglass, shagreen. Everything is having its own importance. Okay. Then comes leather. Shagreen is also used for covering the jewelry boxes and swords. Leather. It is a highly durable type of leather which is prepared from the skin of sharks and rays. Sharks and rays. Okay. Then artificial pearls. The silvery bone scales of cyprinids, a type of fish, are used in manufacturing of artificial pearls. Okay. in France. Blue Revolution. Fisheries is also a source for income. The fishing industries has brought a lot of income to the farmers, particularly in different perspectives. It also add up to the country's GDP. Now we can basically taking this term blue revolution to address this hike or this improvement in this field. Okay, so blue revolution is basically fish production, promoting fish production. Okay, the term aquaculture is many of the times confused with pisciculture. Aquaculture is different, pisciculture is different. Aquaculture, it involves the production of all types of aquatic organisms in water bodies. Aquatic plants, aquatic animals. It is basically related to fishes. Okay. So there is a small quantity of special feed from outside. Is provided from outside to enhance the growth. Here, fish feed is provided from outside. See, the reason is for aquaculture, we are having different organisms. Okay, so there are many organisms which are not of very much economical importance. So raising them doesn't make any profitable advantage to the labor farmers. But if pisciculture is concerned, then every single seedling of fish is very important. And that is why we need to give feed or food from outside so that the fishes they don't undergo internal competition for their survival. Okay, understood? Aquaculture, with the help of aquaculture, there are many economical important uh, products which are obtained. Okay, which are obtained. Pisciculture it gives only food. Okay, apart from food, the substances they are not very much extracted. Okay, Now, coming to types of fisheries. There are mainly two types of fisheries: inland fisheries and marine fisheries. Marine fisheries. Okay. Inland of freshwater fishery. It deals with the fish. It deals with the fishing aspects of waters other than marine water. Okay, so other than marine water, we can use any water resource okay. It is very uh, highly distributed industry. Potentially, it is very vast. Okay, and it very changes. Mean there are so many variations. It varied. Inland fishery resources of India are one of the richest in the world. Okay, in terms of variation. Okay, there are mainly two types. They mainly use two types of water for inland fisheries or freshwater fisheries. Okay, one is the fresh water. The second one is brackish water. Okay, fresh water. It includes the India's great rivers systems. Okay, an extensive network of irrigation canals, reservoirs, lakes, tanks, ponds. Okay, rivers, ponds, lakes, irrigation system, estuaries, lagoons, mangrove swamps. They constitute brackish water. Estuaries, lagoons, etc. Okay. So freshwater, it basically freshwater resources. It includes rivers, ponds, lakes, irrigation system, okay, canals, tanks, ponds. Okay, brackish water includes estuaries, lagoons, mangrove swamps. Okay, they all are included at the brackish water. Understood? In pisciculture or the culture fishery, culture fisheries, which generally pertains to small water bodies restricted to small water bodies The fish seed has to be sown nursed, been taken care of, reared, and finally harvested. And grow to table size. In the case of capture fisheries, these are the culture fisheries in which the restricted very small areas like water bodies, small water bodies like fish seed, they have to be sown, they have to be tendered, they have to be nursed, they have to be reared, and finally they have to be harvested. Okay. In capture fishery, which is basically expanded to the rivers, estuaries, large reservoirs, estuaries, large reservoirs. Okay, big lakes. Man has only to reap without having to sow. Okay, so these are capture fisheries. These fisheries are improved with different methods of breeding. Okay, the breeding methods, they have to gain good varieties of fishes. Okay, so the difference between the capture fishery and the culture fishery, please remember the difference. What is the difference between capture fishery and culture fishery? Culture fisheries, they are restricted to small areas, okay, and the capture fisheries, they are restricted to, or they don't have any restrictions, okay, they are expanded to very large areas. Understood? Both are the methods of pisciculture, whether we talk about the culture fishing method or the capture fisheries. Understood? Now coming to types of breeding. There are different modes of breeding depending upon, that what are the sources, tools we are using for breeding. So natural breeding and induced breeding. Okay, natural breeding and induced breeding. First is natural, induced. Natural breeding and induced breeding. Okay, natural breeding is known as what? Bund breeding. The natural bunds are special type of ponds where natural water resource is collected. They are natural ponds. where water is collected. So natural water, we have a natural water resource over here, okay, and the conditions managed for the breeding for a fish culture. So the conditions are managed for the culture of fish. So bunds, they are the basically they are the areas, having natural ponds, okay, where water is collected. So the conditions are managed for the fish culture. These bunds are constructed in large low-lying areas. Constructed low-lying areas. Okay. They help to accumulate large quantity of rainwater. Okay. So these are bunds, natural breeding or the bund breeding. One thing I just want to tell you. Yeah. Mm, yeah. So this bone breeding is done for Indian major calves. Okay, Indian major calves, Catla catla, Lobio roheta, okay, and Mrigla. They do not naturally breed in confined waters through they attain sexual maturity in these environments. Okay, so once they are getting sexually mature, okay, so there can be some sexual interference, okay, which is not letting these breeds to breed, okay, to undergo sexual reproduction. Their natural breeding takes place in rivers, certain reservoirs, and artificially constructed bund type tanks where favorable conditions stimulate their sawing. Okay, favorable conditions stimulate their sawing. Okay, Bull's breeding contribute a lot to induced breeding of major carp fish. Very important for major carp fish. Okay, the best way out is bull breeding, and it is of two types: wet bull and dry bull. Dry bund is a shallow depression enclosed by earthen walls, locally known as bund, on three sides and an extensive catchment area on the fourth side. Okay. Bunds get flooded during the southwest monsoon but remain completely dry for a considerable period during the remaining part of the year. Okay. The topography of the land has a great role to play in the location and distribution of dry woods. In Bankura district of West Bengal, most of the dry woods are fed with water from storage tanks constructed in the upland area. Then comes the wet bund. The wet bund is a perennial pond located on the slope of the vast catchment area of undulating terrain with the proper embankments having an inlet facing towards the upland and an outlet towards the opposite lower lands. During summer, the deeper portion of the pond retains water containing breeders. The remaining portion is dry and is used for agriculture. So dry bund and wet bund. Dry bund, it remains many of the for most of the year, for remaining part of the year, except southwest monsoon, it remains dry. And the wet bund, it already contains water. The inlet and outlet of the wet bund is on the opposite side. Okay, so the wet bund is a perennial pond located on the slope of the vast catchment area. Okay, of the undulating terrain with proper embankments having an inlet facing towards the upland, okay, and an outlet towards the opposite lower ends. During summer, the deeper portion of the pond retains water containing breeders. The remaining portion is dry and used for agriculture. So these are the bunds, wet bund and dry bund. Then comes the induced breeding. Induced breeding is an artificial method of fertilization. It is the artificial method for fertilization. Okay, ova from the females and the sperms from the females and the sperms from the males are taken out by artificial mechanical process. Mechanical process, and the eggs are got fertilized by the sperms, and fertilization is done outside. One of the dependable source of quality seed supplies by inducing major calves to breed in ponds by the use of pituitary hormone injections. Pituitary extract for inducing fish to breed is used extensively in many countries. Use of fish pituitary extracts for stimulating sawing of Indian major carp is met with considerable successive outcomes in recent years. The cost of the seed production by induced breeding is very low and as compared to the collection made from natural resources. Okay, so this is the way the sawing of the fishes, especially the Indian major carp, can be enhanced by this. Okay, in India, Khan in 1938 successfully induced Selenius marigella to sawn by injecting mammalian pituitary hormone. 1938 by injecting mammalian pituitary hormone. Okay, so this is induced breeding. Okay, so these are the different methods for hormone injection. Major calves do not breed in ponds due to the fact that the environmental factors which are responsible for spawning in natural habitats are absent in confined areas. Okay, that is why they need pituitary extract. Okay, the sex stimulating hormones of the pituitary gland play an important role in the maturation of gonads and swallowing of fishes. The pituitary extract can be kept effectively and utilized successfully in inducing swallowing of the major calves during injection. The method of injection pituitary extract are of following types: intramuscular, intraperitoneal, and intracranial. Okay. Then fish products we have discussed. Pulp culture we don't have to discuss. We don't have to discuss. Okay. Yeah. Optimum temperature. Optimum temperatures seem to be essential for breeding, but major carp have known to breed over a wide range of temperature, that is 40 degrees Celsius to 45 degrees Celsius. Okay, 4 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. This is 4 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. Okay. Some comments suggested that excessive dissolved oxygen is essential, but calves have breed in water where the dissolved oxygen was actually reduced due to the mixture of pollutants after the floods. pH from 7.5 to 8.3 are recorded to be suitable for swanning. So the pH for swanning should be 7.5 to 8.3 between. Okay. The temperature range 4 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. Okay. Turbidity do not seem to be an essential for breeding of major carps. Fish spawning induced by lightning and thunder is also doubtful. Cloudy day, however, seemed favorable for breeding of carps. Okay, endocrine and sex stimulating hormone of pituitary gland and series of subsequent physiological changes are important for spawning. Now comes, as we have discussed, the induced breeding. Okay, now comes a very important technique of breeding, that is the composite fish farming. Okay, so after both breeding, induced breeding, I will add one more slide here. Okay, just wait a minute. Yeah, so composite fish farming. Composite fish farming, it basically includes that there are some selected species of fishes which are stocked together in a proper portion, okay, of a pond. Selected species of fish are stocked together in proper proportion in a pond. Total production of fish is increased many times this way. Okay. This mixed farming is called composite farming. This is a mixed farming, also known as composite farming. Okay. There are many advantages that the species, especially the compatible species, they do not harm each other. Okay. They are kept as surface feeders, middle feeders, and bottom feeders. So all these three feeders have different requirements. So as their requirements are different, so there is no point of emerging any revolt or protest, especially for the survival. Okay. So all these three feeders, surface feeders, middle feeders, okay. And it is very important that there is, for example, we can say these surface feeders, middle feeders, and bottom feeders. There should be a very importantly, during the distribution of their seeds, there is a proper proportion ratio which is kept. Okay, so Catla catla, Labiorohita, and Sirenia birigilla are surface feeder, column feeder, okay, means the middle feeder and the bottom feeder respectively. So Catla catla, Labiorohita, and Sirenia, whenever they are the part of this mixed farming, so Catla is surface feeder, Then Labiorohita is middle or column feeder, and Sirena virigilla is bottom feeder. Okay, marine fishery. After mixed farming, composite fish farming, we are having marine fishery. Marine fishery deals with the fishery aspects of the sea, water, or ocean. The next is marine fisheries, which basically deals with sea, water, or oceans. So main was the actual the composite fish farming. Okay. So proportion you don't need to know. Okay. While the two terms catadromous and anadromous, please watch my videos. Okay, for class 11th. Okay. So you could come up with the freshwater feeding and marine water feeding fishes. Okay. There are some common diseases you need to know about the fishes. Okay. I'll write in the next slide. I'll write here some common diseases. The first is bacterial diseases. There are two bacterial diseases which you have to know. One is the abdominal dropsy of carps. Abdominal dropsy of carps. Okay. It is caused by Aeromonas punctata. Aeromonas. Okay. Second is furunchlorosis. Furunchlorosis of salmons. I think it is appearance of fruncle. Okay. And trouts. Salmons and trouts. Okay, which is caused by Aeromonas. Again, Aeromonas cerevisiata. Then viral diseases. Economically most important is the viral hemorrhagic septicemia of rainbow trouts. Viral hemorrhagic septicemia. Just a minute. Of trouts. Okay. Viral hemorrhagic septicemia of rainbow trouts. Then protozoal diseases includes trypanosoma, trypanosoma. Okay. Fungal diseases, gill rot of carps, gill rot of carps, fungal disease. Okay. So these are the different diseases. Ectoparasites like fish lice. Okay. Example, Agulus is a fish lice. Okay. Fish leech, piscicold. These are some parasitic infections, fungal infections, protozoal infections, viral infections, okay, and bacterial infections. So, my dear students, we have completed the domestication and improvement of animals. These were the last topics, two topics which were left actually. Okay, so we'll meet in the next turn with some more and interesting videos. Okay, till then, bye bye, take care, stay safe, stay healthy.